And hello, everybody, and welcome to the Large Scale Consolidated Live here with Andrew, MrPictovid. Or is it Rex? I don't know. One of them two. How's it going, Andrew?
Oh, it's not going too bad. Weather was a little bit nicer here today. It wasn't quite so dreary and cold for a change.
I wish I could say the same. It was like 24 whole degrees here in South Jersey, but hey, who's there was other people who were warmer. And welcome again to another great show, and we're going to introduce we're going to go through the chat and introduce who's in the chat. And so we have Bruce Morrill, Gregory Yankee, I'm guessing that's how you say that last name, Stayed Loaded, Nico Corbo, Bill Lynch, Bruce Morrill, Cody Reisinger, Mike, and I'm not even going to attempt that last name. I'm already a name hacker as it is. Canadian Railroads, Joseph Lipinski, Wigwag Workshop, and Kyle Kuiper. I'm trying not to miss anybody. And scrolling down. And Dunbar, hello. We have Dunbar here. PJ Fast Tracks. Victor Guess. Looks like Jerry BWN. And Taya Capital Woods, hello. Paul Torrey's G Scale Trains. And scrolling down, Manimal 22. John Rydell, Brian Broom, Engine Yard. And Engine Yard says Rex. Wonder if that's Rex Armanen. But at any rate, hello everybody, and welcome to our show. And before we bring up our guest, we got a word from our sponsor.
Sponsor? Who in the world would want to sponsor us?
And it's these people right here coming up.
The following episode of Large Scale Consolidated Live is brought to you by Splitjaw, makers of quality metal products for the G-scale modeling world. For rail clamps, expansion joints, bridges, and more, Splitjaw products has you covered. For more information, check out their website at www.railclamp.com.
And we're back from our sponsor, and we would like to introduce our guests. And can you guess who our guest is?
Well, I'll tell you a story about that. It involved me getting punched, but let's bring up our guest first.
Hello,
our guest.
And if you guessed that our guest would be Vernon Guess, you guessed right.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, my wife asked me, who's your guest tomorrow night? And I responded, Guess. And she said some names, and I'm like, no, Guess. She goes, you're a jerk. I'm like, what? She's like, well, who is it? I'm like, Guess. And finally, she just got to go, like, I'm like, Vernon Guess. And then I got punched in the arm. So
sometimes it's difficult ordering pizza out of town when they ask you for your full name. So yes.
Or if they just ask you for your last name.
That's true.
You have your last name, sir. Guess.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, Reindeer Pass was recently purchased, and it was purchased by Vernon Guess, who is our guest tonight. And so Vernon, we asked you to come aboard and talk to us about Reindeer Pass, but of course we always ask our guests, you know the routine. How did you get involved into this hobby to begin with?
Well, I'm a third generation model railroader is what it comes down to. It's in my blood completely. Mom and dad will tell me that I used to sleep underneath the table at train shows well before I could walk. So I've just grown up into it, and then also passing it down to my kids now as well. So from every scale there is just exciting and enjoy it. So the NMRA kind of is in my blood per se. I know those are 4-letter words that some of us in G scale don't like, but my grandfather was one of the charter members of the National Model Railroaders Association and their 12th president. And my dad was a lifetime member of the NMRA. And so trains have been around forever. And so, just, I guess you could say I was born into it, literally.
And so I have to ask, what made you say, okay, I'm going to buy into a hobby shop today?
Insanity?
Well, yes, exactly. So this has always been my dream. This was kind of my dad's dream a little bit, as well as my grandfather's dream. But it was supposed to be kind of more of my retirement plan initially. But, my grandfather dreamed of owning a hotel and half of it being a hobby shop and half of it being a layout and a place for people to stay as well. And so it was that was his dream. Dad always thought he would maybe eventually open one. And then, had the opportunity to purchase Reindeer Pass and make that dream come true just well before retirement.
And so being a new owner or, of Reindeer Pass, and I have to thank you for buying and preserving and saving a hobby shop, because so many weren't saved and went out of business. I mean, how's it been so far to this point of the journey? I mean,
well, it's been great.
Exciting.
It's been great. So being that I've been in the hobby all my life, I really enjoy talking trains. When people call up and want to talk different trains or what they're looking to do and modify and everything, it fits really, really well. I am doing this full time. This is my Monday through Saturday and Sunday job. The shop is open Monday through Saturday, and then Sunday I'm out here trying to, improve things and work on the website and make sure we've got stuff updated. But I love it. Yeah, I love it.
And so I'm looking at the boxes behind you, and I'm sure people are going to ask, do you have the same products that Reindeer Pass also offered, or do you have any more or any less, or what exactly did you get to keep? And
yeah. So when Mike and Renee sold, we purchased all of their inventory that they had. And then as with the new business, we went back into all of the manufacturers and set up with them. So we carry the full line of products that they had in their store as well. And we've actually expanded that to dice and die-cast cars. We're looking at trying to expand our figure line into other G gauge figures that are produced. But all of the core manufacturers and lines that they had, we carry on and still carry in the shop. But expanding that as well to 1/24th RC construction equipment, die-cast vehicles, farm animals even. So the boxes behind are actually a part of an estate that we just got, that we just listed. So they will eventually actually go back out now that they've been listed on the website, go back out in the shop. We're just don't have our used area in the shop just built exactly yet, because this is the first items that we got in to sell from as used items in the shop.
Okay, so you're also buying and selling as well?
Yes, yeah. So we buy collections and we attend train shows just like everybody else as well.
He buys, sells, and he plays with trains. Don't forget the third one. That's the most important.
Yes. So that even makes it harder sometimes when you're going through and you're like, hey, I want to buy this collection. Well, I need to sell the entire collection, not just keep half of it. So.
Yeah,
I bought a collection once. It was a terrible thing.
So you also, I see, are offering services as well.
Yeah, so we do also do installs, Airwire, RailPro. Actually, RailPro was one we had brought on, another expansion into the market as well. But yeah, when we've done some service work for people.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And so I have to ask, as far as the store, could you, I'm sure everybody would love to see the inside of the store. Do you have something that you can show us the inside of the store?
Yeah, if we want to, I actually videoed earlier today And if we want to do that, we can start with there.
Sure.
All
That
right.
sounds good. Let's see. I think I got it up here.
Oh, I'm excited already. Before we get in. Don't enter. Oh, wow.
Ooh. The creaking door adds that little bit of, hair tingling on the back of your neck.
So, see, you got the Pico or Pico, however you want to say that.
Yeah,
Pico.
Pico there.
LGB.
Those two locomotives there, we show the difference between Rail Pro and Airwire, so you get to play with both of them in the store.
Oh, wow.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
Bachmann up top.
Yep.
I think you could fit a few more things in there, Vernon.
We're gonna. That's the plan. That is the plan. So you'll hear a Jeep 38 running around the top of the store. You'll see it here shortly.
Okay.
But you'll hear a hot box as well. I need to pull down and.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Got a train running above, huh? I like that.
So we got AccuCraft there. Things are kind of spread out. We don't necessarily just have all the Pico stuff here, all the USA, all the LGB here. It's kind of spread out a little bit throughout the shop.
I see what looks like a USA 5-car intermodal set.
Yes. We actually had two of those. We had the Canadian Pacific, but it actually sold just right before the show.
Oh, wow.
I was going to say, should we do this like telethon style? Operators are standing by. No, I'm just kidding.
Telephone style.
Yeah, just call Sean like everybody did at the last East Coast show.
Oh,
The one
yeah.
before.
Some of those 60-foot boxcars we were talking about earlier.
I was just going to say, those are pretty nice looking.
And there was a Canadian or a CP rail in there for the Canadian G-scalers. Speaking of which, do you ship to Canada?
Yes, we actually ship all over.
Oh, okay.
We've quite often to New Zealand, Australia.
Really?
Area. We've Europe multiple times, and actually South Africa as well. And Canada almost once a week.
Yeah, I would have never thought South Africa.
There's a couple Bathcons over there, and then some high cubes. Most of our LGB track and accessories are right there.
Somebody asked how much for the crossbucks.
That's those were just brought in. Slay Cat, I'll reach out to you. How about that?
Look at that, you're selling stuff already.
Yes, exactly. So we there's a full line just back there. It's full line of Airwire. We also carry, for the indoor guy building the G gauge layout, grasses and everything. And then here is every KD coupler. If KD has it, we have it. If KD's out of it, and if we don't have it, that means it's on back order, and we'll have it very soon.
Yeah, quite a bit of USA Train stuff too.
Yeah. So we've got a good selection of a lot of things. There's all our LGB parts and accessories, and there is we've got a full line of Pola buildings as well.
Oh,
I think
wow.
in one of the previous shows was talking about Pola buildings not being made anymore, but they are, and we carry the full line here in the shop.
Okay. Well, that's good to know that they are still being made and you guys have them.
Yeah. So here's our die-cast section and RC section. So we've got excavators, dump trucks, and all in 1/24 scale.
That's what I was getting. I was getting a nervous tick waiting for that to come up. I wanted to see that.
So while you're running your trains in the garden, you can have these construction vehicles, remote control, digging things up.
Exactly.
Have a little bit of fun.
And this is our 132nd area. Some cars and stuff farm animals that we've brought in, and some farm equipment that we've expanded to.
I like how everything from 124 to 132 works out in the garden. Yeah, it got a wide range of scale ratios that works out there.
Yeah, that 10-foot rule as well. If it looks good from 10 foot, then you're good to go. So more Pola buildings, little accessories, figures, LGB, Rail Pro, motor blocks, speakers, more grasses and rocks and glues. An FEF right there. Just got a customer, brought it in, going to do, not sure what direction he's going to go yet, but brought it in to do some type of upgrade to it, maybe DCC or battery. He hasn't decided yet.
I think that's the hardest choice is to decide whether you want to go battery or track power.
No, the hardest choice is what aren't you going to buy because you can't afford it all.
Yeah.
Well, battery or track power, my answer to that is both.
Yes. Well, that's what I talking about. I love Rail Pro in the aspect of being able to set it up to do both, to run battery and DC and DCC. I mean, it's just it's the way to go with the aspect of where you're going to take your trains. We have a Tulsa Garden Railroad Club here in town that was I'm a charter member. It started in 1997. And, we run DCC on it, DC as well, but it's nice to be able to do that versatility of being able to take my trains anywhere I want to go and be able to run them the way I want to run them.
Yeah.
That's what I've done with my Revo for quite some time. And I think maybe I've seen some people do that with AirWire, but you have to add some extra components. And I don't think they actually officially support that.
I have to ask, is that a real derail?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I have to have some one-to-one stuff sitting around here as well.
It's like, how did you even get a hold of that?
That actually I purchased at a auction about 5 years ago. Oh,
okay.
Yeah. I actually went to purchase some knuckle couplers, one-to-one knuckle couplers that they had for sale that were a salesman's prototype that he would take around and sell. And unfortunately, somebody else outbid me way too much on those. So I ended up getting the derailer there.
I figured that was like an anti-theft device for your car, like you put it behind the wheel at night.
Oh, brother. Kyle is asking, do you have any Procore tank cars? He's talking about the USA Trains ones.
No, unfortunately, I do not have any of those. Unfortunately not, no.
Well, if you ever run into them and somebody who wants to get rid of them in an estate sale, you better grab a hold of them because everybody wants them.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And what building structure is that sitting in front of your garage door?
So that's actually a building I designed, drew up in CAD, and then cut it out of 16 gauge on the laser that from a previous company I was at. And my background is in manufacturing and sheet metal and structural work. So when we had some downtime on the laser, I ended up doing a couple different buildings. So that's one of the buildings there. And all the Grant Line at the time, windows would pop into it, doors would pop into it. But I just had it laser cut out, welded it up in the shop, and then had it powder coated.
And Robert Cochran is asking, do you know when we will be able to get Phoenix sound products again?
Robert, that is a fantastic question that unfortunately I don't have an answer to. I don't know that anybody has an answer to that question. We have been trying to get a hold of them, been reaching out almost once every week. There's probably been a couple weeks in there where I didn't reach out. There were weeks where I reached out twice, and unfortunately just have not had any response from them.
And then John's asking, what is a good glue for rebuilding Pola buildings?
The sticky kind.
Yes. So, Pico sells a pretty good glue. We actually on our webpage have a section of different glues, but the Pico Fix is really good.
I think that's like what do they call it? Like MEK or something.
Yeah,
I think is what's in that. It's some pretty potent stuff that actually melts and fuses the plastic together.
Yeah, that seems to be the best. That's one of our top sellers in glue.
Okay. And I'm looking for other comments. John says that's actually a blue flag, a little bit different than a derail. I think he might be right.
Okay. I'll have to look that up. I was not aware of that.
I think the blue flag is like an alert. alerts.
Oh, they're working down the rails.
Working down a rail.
Right.
I think he's right.
Aren't you
Yeah,
colorblind,
okay.
Sean?
No, but trying not to get off topic, Andrew. I was trying to message you, but your camera's froze.
My camera's froze.
Yes.
Yep, I see that now too. Has it got my good side at least?
No, it's horrible. Everybody's looking at a bad side of you.
Oh man. Well, let's see what I can do about that.
All right. While he's fixing his camera, I know you have other things you have set up for us. So, did you have your own garden railroad at one time?
Yeah, so actually I've had 2 different garden railroads. I do have photos and a quick video of the last garden railroad that I had. And then also we, as a family, have a traveling layout that's a 30-foot by 40-foot modular layout that we travel with to different shows. We've actually done a consolidation of kind of a smaller version of that, but can share a couple pictures of actually the very first layout that we built that was all code 250 hand lay track.
Okay, let's take a look at that. Pop that up.
I think I may have to. Let's see here.
Yeah. Is it another video?
No, unfortunately, it's just some pictures real quick.
Okay.
So let me share the screen here.
Yeah, you just have to share it there. Make sure you have all your financial banking information off your monitor.
Yeah.
And it's fun because I have 4 monitors. So let's see which monitor it is.
I see Taya in the chat was asking about finishing a layout. I'm not sure. Is she talking to Paul Carr, maybe?
Could be.
Are you working on a layout, Vernon?
Well, we have a layout in our shop that we're working on. And I think this is my correct screen. We'll see if this works here. No, that's us again, isn't it?
Let's see.
Andrew just needs to bring it up for you.
Yep, wrong one. There we go.
Yeah, that's that screen. Here, I'll just flip these over real quick. Okay. How is that?
I don't have anything to share just yet.
Okay.
Don't worry, take your time.
So in the shop, as we're getting it going, we actually are going to be doing a dog bone layout. Besides the upper line that you saw running, there will be a dog bone that's going to go 40 feet against the north wall. That will then switch back and work its way back up to the top section.
All right.
Here we go. I've switched some screens here, so Andrew, you should see it now, I think.
Oh,
Great.
There we go.
Yeah. So this was a roughly kind of maybe a 1/20.3 layout that we had initially constructed.
What happens if you hit the maximize thing there in the corner?
Okay, let's see here. Actually,
Oh, no, down bottom right.
Oh,
Bottom right.
You got the little double arrow looking thing there.
good deal.
There we go. I do more than just IT Monday through Friday.
So this was, as I was saying, this was our first family layout that we took and showed from roughly 2000 to probably 2008-ish. And it was all hand laid, code 250 rail, Sunset Valley. And just some quick pictures here of it.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Actually, the part of the train right there in that photo is the lower train that I just started putting some shelving up in the office, and that's part of that train there, actually.
Nice.
Yeah, very nice.
I think that's the last one.
And what did you do? You took this to different shows?
Yeah, so we traveled at this time. We were doing about 13 different shows a year with this layout itself. And
okay.
let me pull up. So after this layout kind of got retired because, we wanted to run -9s and whatnot, we had to come up with a more modern layout. So here is version 2 of that layout.
Ooh.
We just kind of continued to expand, and we did go away from the Code 250 rail and went into just SnapTrack 332. And this is my brother. We were trying to see how many -9s we could run together. I'm pretty confident we blew a NCE booster trying to do this. So, So here's some kind of detailed shots of our layout overall. And so we traveled with this. We actually did the national convention up in Kansas City with this layout. So,
and you still have this layout?
Yes. So we do have this layout in a kind of a configuration now that I own the hobby shop. The last train show we went to, we had to actually do a modified version. Since this was 30 foot by 40 foot, we've kind of scaled it down, took out the 15-foot bridges in the front, and took out the yard that's no longer in the middle from this shot here, and removed it. Ooh. And the layout now is about 22 by 22 now. Trying to put it and a lot of the things from the shop to also have a booth at the train shows, as well as set up a layout. We've had to kind of scale down a little bit.
You guys created some cool scenes on this layout.
Oh, thank you.
Is that one of those teardrop campers that Greenlight makes?
Yes. We actually have those in stock here at Reindeer Pass.
Yeah, those are really nice. Not a bad price either.
No, they're not.
Yeah, there we go.
The Winnebago.
Yeah, that's a cool camper.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I was going to live in a camper by the tracks, it'd be right there. Hey, they even got the pool. I like it.
Yeah. you got those campers as well?
Yes, sir.
They're pretty well detailed.
I've got one of those sitting here somewhere.
Yeah, as well as the Airstream.
Yeah, the Airstream's cool too.
Well, it's around here somewhere.
Yeah, that's what you always say.
Yeah, kind of like when they kicked was it Bobby off the Brady Bunch? Oh, he's here somewhere. Ooh!
Wow!
Remote controlled cranes.
Yes. Not available at Reindeer Pass just yet, but sometime soon.
Come on, you got to work on that, Vernon. Let's go.
That's nice.
Thank you.
And who made that high tension tower?
Those are the aristo-craft high tension towers that they put out many years ago.
Oh, okay.
Don't knock them over because the things break off of them.
Yes.
Oh.
I like that Hooker tank car in the background, though. Is that an LGB or USA?
That is actually an LGB.
Nice.
Can't say that word.
But we're on your channel. I can say Hooker. Tank car. Sean's going to get flagged. I know it. If I got a black eye next show, people, you know what happened.
So that was our second layout. This is kind of our condensed layout. This was kind of thrown together for the Oklahoma City train show that we did this December with our, let's see here. Where did this go? Why is this not sharing? Let me close out of this. Okay.
How far away is Ogden, Utah from you, Vernon?
I don't know. That would be probably a 16, 20-hour drive.
Wow.
Maybe. Up and over, I think.
Up and over.
Yeah. So this is the third iteration of the layout. And one of the things with our layout, too, as a family, we tried to keep things fresh, keep things changing a lot, even going to the same shows. We just, people wanted to see new things. So this layout's roughly 20 foot by 20 foot. Let me go ahead and make it a little larger. So
how many is a corner, like 3 sections or just 2?
Just two. So the outside diameter is a 12 foot, and then the inside is an 11 foot. If I was thinking it was actually
So it looks like you got about a foot or so between them.
Yeah, well, and so we also they're in the leads up to it. I've got a 6-inch piece to pop it out.
Okay, to kick it out a little bit.
Because we like to run auto racks as well. That's why we had to go to these new corners
Mm.
to be able to run auto racks. So if I remember correctly, this is the 11.5 that Aristo put out for a little while, and then I want to say this was a 12.
Nice.
So this is the refinery set by Pico. Just to let you guys know, these are coming back in stock, hopefully this summer at Pico.
All right.
Yeah. So this is the fracking and other plants that they do.
Now that looks like an MTH tank car to me. Is that Citgo or something?
So this Citgo is actually a USA 42 footer.
Oh, okay.
This is a beer can. The hooker's a beer can, and the Texaco is a 42 footer USA.
The Citgo looked like it was like a kind of bit of a smaller diameter. Maybe it was just the paint color on it.
I'm thinking with that must be it, because it is USA.
How did you do your grade crossings there, Vernon?
So the on each side of the tracks is the white foam board that you can purchase for doing science projects. And then I actually used hydrocal in between for my approaches, so it looks like they poured it all in concrete.
Oh, nice.
And so put the hydrocal down, then had an old pair of trucks, ran it back and forth, and then came back and kind of graded it out a little bit. And it works really, really well. It looks like they just poured it in concrete.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. It looks really nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then they had to come back out. Somebody didn't pour the concrete right, so we got a concrete truck here, and it's kind of hard to see with the train in the way, but they're pouring a slab of concrete.
Yeah, when they're done, they're sending them over to fix my driveway for the gas company.
And then the rest of the Pico areas, and this is an aristo-craft hooker tank car, and then this is all again USA beer can and a 42 footer, as well as another beer can here.
Very nice. And what's those buildings or the tanks in the background?
So I did actually. This is an old Pola kit back here. These 3 tanks, and then this is the rest of the Pico fracking. And somebody in the chat may remember what the other Pico building is, but I can't remember what it's called right offhand. Refinery. It's a part of the refinery.
I like that filling. I like that filling platform.
Yes, and that's a Pico as well.
So all this is Pico?
Yes. Yeah, everything except these 3 right here where my cursor is. That's an old Pola kit. And then this building right here is part of the Pico refinery. It's the main office for it as well.
I see Nico was asking a question about the buildings, and his next comment after that says previous picture.
Wow.
If those were Pola buildings in the background.
So yes, there's a Pola building. This blue one here is a Pola building. It's a wooden kit. Gosh, I can't remember the name of that. But it was a wooden kit that was put out by somebody. The name is, I just lost it.
Yeah, I'm not sure myself. He's saying the silver buildings. I guess he means the fracking buildings.
Yeah, these right here are the fracking, and
right.
The rest of it here, and then the tanks, the oil tanks themselves are all Pico, and then this building here is a old Ozark miniature kit.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
He says with the smokestacks.
Okay.
Yeah. And my next guess is going to be it was Colonel Mustard with the candlestick in the library.
That's funny.
And everybody that's not that old is going, what the heck is he talking about? Nobody plays board games anymore.
No, not really. That's very interesting.
Thank you. So from there, I have some pictures of. So my dad passed away just about actually a year and a half ago. Kind of crazy. He actually passed away a year. We signed the paperwork to buy Reindeer Pass. He had passed away exactly a year to that date. So besides his passing with the purchase of Reindeer Pass, that's a date that will always be around. But he also had an indoor layout that some of you guys may have seen. It was on the Tulsa Garden Railroad Club, our convention here in 2017. So I thought we'd share some pictures of it as well. So Bachmann 3-truck shay going over one of his trussels there.
Oh, very nice.
K27. So when we retired the engine house, when it retired off of the layout, the traveling layout, it actually came into his house. So this is the K27 pulling out of his engine house there. And in his back room, which was 24 by 24, we had a switchback area. So this is the lower level, and then it's switched back up and would go up to a upper level and then go back into the next room.
Oh.
So just some
Wow.
shots here. You know, when you have a caboose and you don't have trucks for it, hey, let's make an office out of it.
Yeah.
So this was at his lumber yard. And part of the switchback. And just some more shots of his indoor layout here.
Wow.
Lots of work there.
Yeah, this is what we loved. My brother would be over there. I'd be over there. Everybody would just be involved in building. And you'd walk into the back room, and it literally was from almost waist high all the way to the top of the roof. So this was the very top of the line, and then there's still 2 lines down below it.
I don't know. I'm seeing where Sean has room to, put G-Scale back in his basement.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
So you can see the upper line, and so this is the lower line.
Right. Got the phone booth there.
So here's just a couple pictures of kind of the upper line. It went back in this back room here, and these were taken just a couple shots during the national convention. So,
ooh, Nico's calling you a traitor, Sean.
I've seen it.
So you have to have your clearance. You got to watch out your heads when you're ducking under things. So going to, talking about the outdoor layout, I have some photos here of our previous layout, my wife and I's, and the what we'll actually eventually kind of do again, trying to decide exactly at our house what we want to do, if we want to do a traditional garden railroad or do something elevated back to like this. I had my knee replaced a year and a half ago, so getting on the ground isn't the funnest sometimes. So it may
probably go elevated.
Yes. So a friend of mine in the Tulsa Garden Railroad Club had made these up, and they were just sitting in his front yard, and so we went over to grab them and started laying them out to see what layout we could do before we purchased our new house.
So that wasn't something that like a manufacturer did. He fabbed those himself.
No, yeah, he fabbed those for his dad. Actually, had a layout on his back fence, and so he just went down to Harbor Freight, bought rollers, and then actually rolled the tube, and then cut all the expanded metal and welded it all up.
Oh,
yeah. So this was the first placement, and then these two were car sheds. We'll show a couple more pictures of those. But my elevation dropped off quite a bit in the backyard, and I didn't realize it. We've got a video here that I'll show that's kind of cool.
I'm going to take a guess and say 8-foot diameter curves for that.
So it was an 8 foot at one end, that first end, and then a 10 foot at the back end.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this one was the 8, and then this one was the 10. So here's this actually, I think I was replacing, no, this is when we were just I just got it all up and trying to decide if I ended up taking out all those switches and putting number 6s in.
So is that like a covered like storage area? Is that what that
yeah, so the front here folded up, and then these folded down, and then there's closures on the end. So you would leave cars outside. And so here you can see the elevation change quite drastically. Wow. I didn't realize it was that much until we started setting this layout up.
Yeah, it's great.
I tell you what, you want to see some elevation change. My friend Sean Fields, his is like built on the side of a mountain in West Virginia.
Oh wow!
If you walk out to his loops out like that. If I walk out to the end, I'm 5'11". I probably got about much more clearance above my head. I can like walk underneath it. It really makes you kind of like tense up when you run your train around the curve, though.
And then, so here's just some more pictures from that shot. So this was nice because when the kids walked in the backyard, it was right at their height. And we eventually ended up taking and closing this area, putting another loop in here with the 4-foot diameter and running Thomas and friends inside it, and then had a little town set up here. I think this next one,
Thomas and those troublesome trucks.
Yes, you can see where we enclosed it, and there's that building we talked about earlier.
Nice.
And this is later on where it switched out to the number 6 switches. So let's see if this plays here. So we got everything running for my birthday in 2019. And so
wow.
Well, I thought I'd show the kind of the elevation here with me standing next to it. Kind of shows the.
I was going to say, when I saw the fence go with the ground line, I'm like, oh, okay, there's a bit of a change there.
Very nice.
So when I first looked at it, I thought it looked like it was wide enough for double track, but that's just a single.
No, it is. It was just single.
USA Train Southern Pacific.
Yeah, and then so LGB depressed center flats, the coil car, the European orange depressed center flat they put out, and the the gray and green generators.
Yeah, I was going to say I hadn't seen the orange one before, so I was looking when it went by.
Yeah, so I don't know that it was actually ever officially produced or released here in the U.S. I've only been there. I've owned 3 or 4 of them, and they've always been kind of hard to come by, anyways.
Yeah. I don't know. For some reason, John was asking if you were burning the switches in a fire pit.
I think I think there may have been some wood thrown in the fire pit. I'm not sure.
I just thought maybe John was losing his mind. That's all.
John was losing his mind.
Let's see here. Yeah, it's opened up in the other window. Let me get this drug over here real quick.
I froze up again, didn't I, Sean?
Yeah, you did.
I'm going to blame Heath because I switched to a different capture device because he was having issues with the one I have. So now I'm just going to blame Heath. Let's see. Let me cycle this.
Well, that's the easiest way to get out of things is just blaming him.
Yeah.
And while Andrew's trying to fix that end of it.
We can do one more video here, Sean, if you'd like.
Sure.
Approve its sharing.
We'll add that to the stream while you kind of figure out what he's doing.
I know what I'm doing. What are you doing, Sean?
Adding the video to the stream.
There you go.
Very nice. Now there's two very unique things going on right there. It looks like you got a chopped up Aristo-9 and what seems to be a helium car.
Yes. So for those that caught that is Stumpy. He's a -9 that's been cut down to a -4.5. When QSI was coming out with their decoders, DCC decoders in large scale, they were at one of those train shows that we were at, and Mike Greenwood was their installer and worked with them quite heavily. And we were talking about the capabilities of their decoders. And he says, man, I'd really love to bring a -9. It's just hard to fly across the country with it. And I joked, I said, why don't you just cut one in half? Oh, that's perfect. Well, the next year, Mike ended up coming to the show with it, cut in half, and set up with the QSI decoder in it. And this was probably, 20 years ago, and 18, 20 years ago or something like that. And just a couple of years ago, I reached back out to Mike, and he was no longer with QSI and had kind of moved on. And I was talking about Stumpy and seeing if he had Stumpy still around, and he did. And I said, I'd love to purchase him. So he gave me the opportunity to purchase him. And so now he's actually the first locomotive that went up on the wall. So,
and who created the helium car?
The helium car, I wish I knew. I actually bought that off of eBay. I have always wanted a helium car, and thought about trying to take an outside frame box car and kind of chopping it up and building it and whatnot. And oddly enough, came across one on eBay one day. So I snatched it up.
And John was asking did you cement your post in the ground or just insert them into the ground?
No, since we were going to only be there, our plan was to be there just a couple of years. The layout was put up in 1999, and then it was it was running in 1999. No, 1999. Gosh, 20. Hold on. Sorry, my apologies. 2019 is what I'm trying to say. And we moved in 2020. So it was up for about just a year and a half, knowing that we were going to be looking for some property and a place to move. What we decided to do was they had some metal bases on them that the poles then went into. And in this picture here.
Okay. Very nice.
Thinking of moving, I've always thought it'd be great to start like a gated community. And the requirement was everybody has to have a garden railroad and they're interconnected.
Yes. So it was easy that way of being able to set it up and tear it down.
All right. And for those who are wondering, what are the future shows you plan on attending this year?
So we are going to be at the National Garden Railroad Convention. We've got 4 booths there. So we'll be there this summer. And then also any local show that's around the Tulsa area, we attend. We're big supporters of the local show, train shows. So we'll be at the National Convention, and then we'll, hopefully be at the National Convention every year, and then kind of expand as we continue to, be able to go to shows maybe on the East Coast and further on the West Coast.
Okay. And the next question I have is, during the course of our show tonight, at what point in time did you want to do your little thing?
Let's do it now. So for tonight's show, we wanted to give away a gift card to Reindeer Pass. So we're going to give a gift card away for Reindeer Pass for $20.
Okay. And what do we want to use for that? And first of all, before we go any further, don't start entering any hashtags yet because I got to set this up. But what hashtag do we want to use?
Hashtag Reindeer Pass. How about that?
Works for me. But don't enter it yet, people. I'm not ready yet.
Yeah. As long as everybody spells it right, they'll be okay.
It's right here. So.
Yeah.
Did you spell it right?
I did look at it a couple different times just to make sure.
Let's see.
Yes, Kyle Kuiper, gift card, but you gotta wait Andrew's a little laggy tonight, so he's lagging behind.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
So while he's entering that into the contest part of our show tonight, is there any new exciting things coming out in G Skill that you heard of besides the -9 and the AccuCraft or the AML GP60?
Between those two things, and everybody knows about the Evans boxcars that hopefully will be here some very time soon. I guess Bachmann is expecting now a fall release of those. So I can't think of anything, major that jumps out. It is exciting. We get calls quite often wanting the Pico oil containers for the layout, and so those are exciting that they're planning on having those hopefully back in the summer. So we'll be having those just as soon as they hit. We'll be bringing those into the store. So,
okay.
But yeah, if we're looking forward to the release of the -9s. I'm a model railroader as well, and I've always wanted to get my hands on a flag, UP flag. So this is a good opportunity to.
Oh yeah.
With their release of the UP flag, that people can get their hands on them.
All right, we're all set, people. So if you would like to enter the giveaway, #Reindeer Pass. Did I spell that right?
Yes.
Yep. So enter #Reindeer Pass in the chat.
All right, so yep, just how you see it is how you got to put it in there, or else the computer will not pick you up. So if you want a chance for a $20 gift card at Reindeer Pass, and that goes for any product in the store, right, Vernon?
Yes, that's correct.
So your choice of whatever you want to buy for the $20 gift card.
And we can let that go for what, 5-10 minutes here?
Yeah, then we'll come back.
I see we got a question from Steve Junkst.
Yeah. Are you seeing new interest and growth in the hobby?
Yes, I think so. As electronics continue to catch up with us and everything, I see a lot of the younger people actually getting into it with that aspect of the thought process of being able to, continue to advance the computers and the locomotives and everything. I really think RailPro has been a positive thing on our market, and the aspect of getting away from CVs, knowing how to program CVs and run CVs and everything, and in a DCC system, I think is going to really help the growth of our hobby. Like I said earlier, we go to a lot of local shows. We, as in G Gauge, sell very little at these local shows because we're carrying G Gauge items, but we're seeing a lot of people come into the shop and get started that would have never been in G Gauge before. So I see it growing there. And I've always considered G Gauge that closet hobby anyways, where the N-scale guy and the HO guy has G Gauge in their closet.
Yeah.
So
pretty sure Sean has some hidden in his closet somewhere.
Mike Tell G, if I said your name wrong, sorry, but Mike, you got to re-enter again because you did not enter the hashtag correctly. Reindeer Pass, all one word. #Reindeer Pass, all one word.
Yeah.
Do not.
And I don't think it matters if it's all caps. I do not believe it's case.
No, he entered the whole name wrong.
Okay.
It will not pick it up like he entered it. That's why I'm saying something.
And of course, Nico can't enter with #I was robbed, even though he tried.
Yeah, I've seen that. I was wondering what you were laughing at, and I just happened to see it.
I couldn't hold myself back when I said it.
But yeah, I'm glad to hear that it's growing, and I see the technology, like you said, seems to be expanding more and more, gearing towards trying to get the younger generation into the hobby.
Yeah, and we have so many avenues now to purchase trains themselves. And we've all seen the market kind of go up and down with the prices of things, unfortunately. Some fortunate, some unfortunate aspects of it. But hopefully the railroading merit badge through Boy Scouts has been a resurgent merit badge. It was a merit badge that my grandfather actually started in the Scouts. And there was a time about 15 years ago where it was going to actually be phased out because there weren't Scouts doing it. And we've seen a resurgence where now a lot of model railroad clubs across the country are working with people, working with the Scouts and whatnot to, get their railroading merit badge. And that's just also exploded. So hopefully that continues on as they get older to stay in the hobby. I think, many people have stated during COVID, there was a resurgence of people staying home. So they got to build kits and got to work on their railroad, and I got to refocus. So hopefully that momentum continues as well.
I was just reading somebody was asking Nico if he was starting his own giveaway since he got robbed.
Maybe a GoFundMe.
A GoFundMe. So, I know you're new to all this, but do you see yourself expanding further out than what you are already offering?
Yeah. So, our plan is to continue to stay focused in G gauge. So G gauge, everything in between there that runs on 45 millimeter track. We want to try to expand where figures are readily available, different vehicles. And that's where we decided to go and bring some diecast stuff in and some RC stuff. As a hobby shop, we do see ourselves in probably 3 to 5 years of expanding into HO, into N-scale, and being able to offer those products as well. But our focus was when Mike and Renee, so to back up of how we purchased Reindeer Pass or when everything came about, was, I'd known Mike and Renee for quite a while. I had purchased trains from them for quite a while. And I had heard at the national convention in Nashville while we were there. Actually, the Sunday we pulled in, I'm in line getting my registration packet. And a good friend in front of me is very good friends with Mike and Renee. And he whispers back and says, "Hey, I think Mike and Renee are going to retire." And so that evening, my wife and I had a conversation and said, "Hey, if they're going to retire and they haven't got it sold, we've talked about this. What do we want to make this run? Do we want to go for it?" So we talked about it for a couple more days, and then saw Mike and Renee on Wednesday when the convention opened. And Mike said, "Hey, we're going to retire. We want to retire and everything." And so we started discussing, what does that look? What's going to happen to Reindeer Pass? And he says, "Well, are you interested?" And I said, "Yes, very much so interested." And I said, "But I do want to be upfront with you. I want to carry on the Reindeer Pass, but I want to expand it. I want to eventually go into other scales." And they were all 100% behind that and loved that idea as well. So, I hope to be able to give Reindeer Pass to my family sometime. So,
oh, cool, great.
Yeah.
So it looks like you kind of slowed down on collecting entries on that. So let's
you want to go ahead and run that?
Let me share the screen here so we can watch Nico get robbed. I mean, see who wins. We laugh, but we love you, Nico.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what happens here. Who's it going to be?
Uh-oh. Slowing down.
Dunbar is our winner.
Wow. Congratulations.
All right. So what you're going to want to do, Dunbar, is in the description of the video. I believe I have your email in there, vernon@reindeerpass.com.
That's correct.
You're going to want to go ahead and give Vernon a reach out via email, Dunbar, and give him your info so he can get you taken care of.
All right. Congratulations. Nico says, "Congratulations on robbing me, Dunbar."
I don't know. Is there a second chance tonight?
There will be a second chance, I believe. Yeah, we'll give
right.
Nico another opportunity.
There you go. So if everybody hangs on a little bit later, there'll be a second chance you get another gift certificate.
So somebody mentioned that I didn't mention any 3-rail stuff. I saw in the comments there. And
they just like busting my stones.
is that what it was? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe someday. Probably just for Sean. We'll just carry a whole line of 3-rail stuff just for Sean.
And speaking of future, do you see yourself, maybe perhaps getting to any of the Eastern train shows, East Coast train shows?
I absolutely believe so. I believe that's in our future. We want to support the hobby as much as we can, and we understand there's some cost to that, but I believe that is in our future. It's not, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do the April show this year, but I think that's in our future. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I know you're new to all this, so I figured, you'd probably be getting things all structured and before you start going out to, train shows that are pretty far away and stuff.
Yeah. So we had, well, luckily, one of the nice things with our traveling layout, we had already purchased a 24-foot or something like that enclosed trailer. So that made it easy to be able to decide, okay, now we can go to shows with the store and haul everything in it. Just makes it a little easier.
And so I'm assuming that you took over the Reindeer website as well.
Yes. So when we purchased Reindeer Pass, again, we purchased all their items that they had in stock, all their products, but also their IP. So from a customer standpoint, if you logged in and ordered stuff online, nothing changed. Everything just was in the background that switched over. But from a login standpoint, it's the same password. It's the same, your login, and everything from the website stayed the same. We've worked really hard in going in and updating photos. I think the last count was over 3,000 photos that we had updated on the website.
Wow.
We still have a number to continue to update, but we try to continuously do that. And then from a standpoint of calling in, then it's just a new phone number down at the bottom of our page. So people called that number. I know without a question that it's funny just that this week I got a call that said, so my order shipped out immediately and everything, but I noticed that it had signed by Vernon and Ellie. Who's Vernon and Ellie? So it's still, a lot of the customers who've ordered online, didn't know. We tried to put it out there in a couple publications of, that we had purchased it from them. And then it was on our website for quite a while that had changed. We still get a phone call every now and then. Hey, we want to drive over to see you. And we're like, well, we're in Owasso, Oklahoma now. And yes, we know that. So it's been good. We've actually had a lot of people drive down from Kansas, over from Arkansas, Missouri, and come up from Texas to come see us. So it's been really good. The community of G-Gagers is, it's a great community. And I love talking about trains. So it's a great opportunity when somebody walks through the door to just talk trains. And so that's what makes it fun.
And as I'm sitting here talking to you, I just happened to notice behind you, there's looks like a steam shovel conversion on a USA Trains crane.
Yes, that's correct. That was something I snatched up as well. I guess it's on this side.
Yeah.
That is a conversion that somebody else did. And they had taken a excavator and switched out the crane aspect and combined them.
Well, I know exactly who did those. And
okay.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. People who've been in the G Scale might remember this from years ago, but there was a hobby shop called Sandville, and it was actually run by a person or owned by a person by the name of Al Kramer. He was on eBay there for a little while. I don't know if he still is or not, under Anna.Kramer. But at any rate, he actually converted a bunch of USA Trains cranes into steam shovels, and they were a pretty big hit.
So that's actually, I think, I don't know if that's who I bought it from, but I do remember him showing those on eBay for some time. And we are exactly 9 hours and 15 minutes away from Nashville.
Okay.
Somebody asked that.
Yeah, that was Bill Lynch.
Yeah. And then the train on the bottom is a crane and work train. I didn't get a couple of the cars out. So this wall up here
I was going to ask you what the shelves were. That's kind of interesting looking.
Yeah. So this is a new product that we're looking to bring to the G-gauge market is these shelving clips that work with the plastic ties and rail. So before we actually go live with it, we wanted to bring it in to our shop and give it a try. So we just got this product in this week and got the shelves up, got the slats up, which these actually slide into the wooden slats, 4x8 sheets that you can buy at Lowe's and Home Depot as well.
That's neat.
And that's plastic or metal?
They are plastic.
Okay.
The same company that makes the plastic ties and plastic rail that we carry on our website makes these. They're extruded. So we decided to put a couple up here on the wall and give it a try. So that's why it's not completely filled up yet. I kind of ran out of time this week. So we're looking at bringing these into the store.
So is it like a metal or wood strip that has the slots?
So it's actually an extruded strip as well. Right here.
Ah, okay.
Oh yeah.
Now I see.
So try to do this. Let me try this where I can look at it. Okay, here we go. So then it snaps in. Now what's nice about these brackets, you can use this as well, or you can go ahead and throw your laser line up on your back wall and actually 2 screws on each side of that to attach to the wall itself.
And Paul's asking, do they come in double track widths?
Currently, they do not, Paul. I don't know. We'll have to talk about maybe going to a double track width with the center of gravity and the cantilever being out that far. I'm not fully sure how that would work with the current configuration that they're in. So they are just single track currently.
Yeah, because I'm sure like some of them cars are pretty heavy, like the USA Trains aluminum tank cars.
Yes. Yeah, they can get a lot of weight there on your shelf. So that's one of the products that we're looking to expand to as well and come to the market with. And then also one of which will be, I'll kind of plug it a little bit, which will hopefully be here in a couple of weeks. We will have the Clean Machine 2, the Oki edition. Mike and Renee put out a brush that cleaned the debris off the track with a battery that you can mount on different configuration cars, locomotives, whatnot, and push it down the track. And we're going to be re-releasing a new and improved version of it, hopefully here in the next couple of weeks. So please, like us on Facebook and follow us there and check our website out.
Joseph is asking, so what spans between the brackets? Just the track?
That is correct. Just the track itself.
Okay. Alrighty. And I don't know if you remember or not. Remember back some time ago, I forget who it was. I think it was Train Lee introduced plastic track that you could just use for display that came in like different colors. Yeah,
so this is actually made by that same company as well.
All right. And do they offer that plastic track for to put on their your shelves and stuff?
Yes. So that's what's up there as well is the plastic track itself. Well, let me actually back up on that. The ties are plastic because I've decided to go ahead and put locomotives on it. Right now, I have brass rail in there.
Okay.
So we're going to experiment with the plastic track to see kind of what weights and things can be taken on these. And so we want to get those facts and information of how to install it and everything before we actually release these clips.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good enough. All right. And so when did you want to do our
let's do another one if Andrew's ready. Maybe Reindeer Pass 2.
Oh, we can still do the same hashtag.
Or the same hashtag? Outstanding.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
It resets. Let's see.
Can Nico enter twice? Or is it only one time, I guess, right?
Well, if he gets his son Vincent to sign into his account, they could both enter.
Yeah. We'll see if Nico gets robbed for a second time.
I was going to say, you could put a poll up in the chat there, Sean. Will Nico get robbed again? Let's see here.
I'm pretty sure everybody's going to answer yeah.
All right. The couple of you that already put Reindeer Pass in there, you might want to enter
Jump
that
going,
again.
guys. Have to wait. Hold on.
All right. Go ahead and enter them in there.
All right. Now you guys can enter. Enter hashtag Reindeer Pass for your second chance of winning a gift certificate. And how much is this again?
This one's another $20.
Another $20. So you get to spend another $20 at the Reindeer Pass.
Nico said he'll get
problem. So while that's going, would it be okay to talk? I talked about the family, and I wanted to show a couple photos of them, if that's all right.
Sure.
And kind of train related ideas.
Yeah.
Dunbar, that's an interesting question. Hadn't thought about that. It seems like the links are getting shorter and shorter, so maybe that's something that we look at down the line.
All right. Did you have some photos I needed to put up?
Yeah, let me get them up here in the share screen. For some reason, it keeps taking.
Do we have to remove any of the other old ones before another one comes up, Andrew?
No, I think you can get like 5 or 6 up there.
Okay.
If it is giving you issues, I mean, you can drop it out, though.
Oh, there it goes. It's coming up.
Is that it?
Yes. And
I like the desktop. I can't see all the desktop background, but I can already tell I like it.
Yeah, it's got to have a picture of a big boy, right?
Yeah.
So, and it went to another screen. So hold on, let me drag this up here. And do this. There we go. So this is my oldest daughter, Casey, which has her own trains. And she'll tell you which ones are hers, and she can tell you how they run and how they operate. And this is her putting some figures in one of her LGB open gondolas at a train show that we did a couple years ago. So she was gluing them in there and having a fun time. And then these are my niece and nephew, Annabeth and Gage. And we were loading up for a train show heading to probably Oklahoma City. And this is before we got our enclosed trailer. So the layout you guys used to see that was 30 by 40 used to be put in giant white boxes that were wooden boxes that rolled up onto this trailer. And we were just about done with the trailer to be looking at getting an enclosed trailer. And so the deck was kind of getting rotted out. So we just threw some plywood over it when plywood was cheap. And so we could get through it with one train show. But there's Annabeth and Gage. And my lovely wife, she got herself a mallet. And
wow.
Yeah, so she's showing it off. Now, there is a kind of a joke. Is it really hers? No, it's really hers. So,
is it really hers? Huh?
Yeah. So, and this is us, the Oklahoma City train show right before COVID hit, all the family. So my dad, mom, my brother Victor, Annabeth, Gage, Karen, Casey, my daughter, Ellie, my wife, me, and a family member, a friend of ours, Jay, is that helps us at all the train shows. As Dad continued to get a little older, he wasn't able to set the layout up as much. So we asked for some help, and she stepped up, and now she's into trains herself and has her own in-scale trains. So wanted to kind of share some couple family photos of us.
Very nice.
And so you can see this is our layout, the iteration before that. So all those pictures that you saw before came at this setup. Our 15-foot bridge here. It's over 3 foot tall.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So yeah, I see a long history of the entire family being involved in the model trains hobby.
Yeah. It's, each of us have our own trains. It's kind of always a joke in our family that everybody has their own road name. I'm a UP guy. My brother's a CSX guy. My mom's a Western Pacific. My dad was a BN guy. So when Ellie joined the family, the question was, well, what's your road name? You have to have a road name. Well, she's got a whole different direction. And so she says, you know what? I just want all geared locomotives. I just love all geared locomotives.
Oh,
so she's got to change the path there. But, it's a family affair.
And your brother is Victor, and that's in the chat, correct?
Yes. Yeah. So he has like a 50 by 50 layout that was on the Tulsa convention as well. And Emerald Pass, our Emerald Railroad, I think is the name of his layout. So he continues to expand, and he's got a Y that takes up half of his layout. It's a prototypical Y. So
Victor's your brother. Who would guess?
Yeah, exactly. Right.
I remember when I saw my G scale trains, it was like between you and him, it's like, hey, did my brother buy this? I want that. It's like
we do try to text each other to make sure, hey, I saw this before I buy it. Are you bidding on this if it happens to be in a bidding war or something like that? So
well, that keeps the price down too.
It's true.
It doesn't get into a bidding war.
All right. So it looks like we slowed down on collecting those. So we're going to go ahead and do the drawing for the second one. Everybody put your wagers on if Nico will get robbed or not.
Yeah, he's getting robbed.
We had a few more people in there this time.
Yeah. Oh.
2003 Marauder. 2003 Suzuki Marauder, because I owned one of those. I don't ride motorcycles anymore. People are too crazy on the road. So
congratulations, 2003 Marauder.
Yeah. So once again, if you check the description, if you forget afterwards, it's in there. Vernon at reindeerpass.com. Just shoot him an email and he will take care of you.
So I see that Kyle asked about the USA Trains hopper behind me. And so it is the Katie. It's an MKT special paint job. And, without saying it, I know there's a lot of guys who are trying to get every center flow hopper they can get their hands on. So it is kind of funny when I posted it that I had won it. How many?
Oh, I think he froze up.
I picked up about 6 months ago.
Oh, there he goes.
You froze up for a second there, Vernon.
Okay.
You're back, though. I didn't quite catch the last thing you said there.
Just that, it's a lot of guys are always bidding on those. So it's kind of funny to see who ends up getting it because we always post our stuff, on our different pages. So when I posted that, it was kind of funny. The other guys were like, hey, I bid you up on that.
And, speaking of which, do you hear much going on from the USA Trains camp? It seems like it's pretty quiet over there.
Well, we excited about the F7s that have come out. Those have sold really well. They're beautiful looking locomotives. They re-released and had the full line of beer can tank cars. We sold quite a bit of those. They've sold quite a few of their 42 footers. I know that they're discussing the big boy rollout again, possibly more than likely happening. So that would be fantastic. The S4s were re-released, so those have sold pretty well. Everybody wants the larger extruded aluminum tank cars to be re-released. So hopefully, they hear that and that will eventually happen. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just kind of curious and see if they're working on anything else new in the future. Or...
Yeah, nothing that I can share.
Oh, okay.
or that I'm aware of, maybe. I don't know. So
you could share, but we'd have to shoot Sean. Okay. I'll take the risk.
I'll take the risk. course, we'll find out more from them when we go to the East Coast Large Scale Train Show. If you wanted to mention that now, Andrew, or
yeah, I did see. Where did it go? I did see on the East Coast Large Scale Train Show Facebook page that they did put up a list of the vendors that they have listed so far. And let's see, they got they got Bachmann Trains, Fred Wendling. I think Fred Wendling. That's someone that's been there before, hasn't it, Sean?
I'm not sure. It doesn't ring a bell for some reason.
G Scale Supply Company, Hot Wire Foam Factory, Michael Setzer Hobbies, of course, Ollie Valley Rail Car. You want to check them out. They make some nice all metal 89-foot TTX flat cars. Seaside Hobbies will be there. Split Jaw will actually be there. He decided to go. Of course, Star Hobby, because it's right next door to Star Hobby. USA Trains is going to be there. Westchester Trains and Hobbies. And then, of course, we'll be sharing a table with Nico Corbo for 4-track RR, just to kind of advertise our presence. So we'll be there. And I'm expecting to see some more updates on the vendor list, but seems like there's some pretty good companies that are going to show up. And I believe I saw somewhere.
There's a list of clubs.
Yeah, what was the clubs? Where was that at, Sean?
I can list them. Susquehanna Valley Garden Railway Society, Southeastern Pennsylvania Garden Railway Society, and the Washington, Virginia, and Maryland Gardens Railway Society.
Did you say the live steamers?
And the live steamers, yes.
Yeah, because I thought I heard that
Eichenbach, I think it's the Eichenbach is how you say it.
Eichenbach, maybe?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm sure somebody here will correct me.
And John Sinkovich is asking, I believe he's asking about the Precision RC that makes Revolution now. I don't know if they'll be there or not, John. I cannot answer that question.
Yeah, I guess they're still putting some stuff together. There's like 3 layouts that are normally there that are missing. I'm so used to seeing the Delaware large scalers, which are not on there.
Delaware, they had like the big, huge layout, didn't they?
No, you're thinking of the New Hampshire Garden Railway Society.
Okay.
They had like the biggest one there. I mean that was huge. And then I think there's one other one that's missing. I think Warrior Run is another one that I'm so used to seeing. Warrior Run was the 120.3 scale narrow gauge.
Yeah, okay.
And so basically F scale layout. And I didn't see the PVC train runners listed either. So there was a few layouts I was hoping to see, but weren't on there. Joseph says, yeah, the NHGRS is out this year. Come on, Joseph. Let's get your club down here. I miss you guys.
Yeah. Get a truck and a trailer. You can do it. I'll send Sean up to help you.
Oh, yeah. Nika's right. No Pocono Mountain Garden Railway Society either.
Yeah, that's one of the things I always really looked forward to at the East Coast show was that whole hall of nothing but club layouts. Yeah,
it was sort of like split, which is what I liked. You had the left hall was all vendors, and then the right hall was all.
I think the last couple of years there were a couple vendors in the right hall, wasn't there?
Yeah, not too many. It was like an overflow.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're missing quite a few club layouts this year. Joseph says like to, but they didn't want to do a strip mall. Plus, we weren't sure we fit. Well, I'm just judging by that of the last show. But talking to Dan, it seems like the building was much bigger than, because they blocked a lot of it off for this show. So I don't know. I don't know what the whole entire building looks like all open. And Taya says, thanks for sharing, Vernon. Sorry that your father passed away. I enjoyed visiting his amazing layout. Best of luck with the store.
Thank you.
Something I was trying to think of. Well, I guess as I'm still thinking, was there something you were still telling us, Vernon? I don't want to interrupt you.
No. I could share a little bit of the National Guard and Railroad Convention when you guys get to that point on talking about upcoming shows.
Yeah. Oh, I remember what I was going to ask you. The Bachmann -9s, when those come out, you're going to be carrying those, aren't you?
Yes, absolutely. So they're the Bachmann page, find -9s, and give us a call or give us an email to pre-order.
Because I just saw on, I believe it was their Instagram page the other day, the Bachmann did have a announcement up there for the -9. Let me see if I can share that here.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second here.
Fingers crossed that announcement is correct. That's our hope.
Well, that's why I'm going to share their post. So if it's not, it's not on me. But it's from their official Instagram page. So I'm going to have to assume that it's officially official.
Yeah, love it that they put that out. So,
all right, let's see here. All right, so there is what they had up on their Instagram page just the other day. They're saying fall 2022 is when they're expecting these to come in. And they had a front shot of it, which that does look nice with the ditch lights on it. But I do have some pictures from, I believe it was the Amherst show. David Weber sent these to me. He took some pictures of the sample they had there so I could share them with everybody. And let me see if I can drag those up here. So it's looking pretty good to me already.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. I have to say it's pretty nice that they're bringing that back. So you're going to buy me like 5 of those, right, Sean?
No.
For being such a good co-host? No. Trying to remember, what all road names are those coming out in, Vernon? Do you remember?
So they're doing the Santa Fe. They're doing the UP flag, 2 different road numbers of those. Norfolk Southern, which I think one of those is the operation, or both of those will be Operation Lifesaver. And then CSX, and then the BNSF swoosh.
Oh,
yeah,
that'll be that BNSF swoosh one. Always seemed like it was a super popular one on the used market.
Yeah. So 10 complete new, well, supposed to be new numbers. I think at this show they may have had a Union Pacific that had the same number on it. Now I don't know, hadn't heard if that was maybe or why or what had happened there, but.
Here's a good question. William Galena, I believe it is MTH 1 scale considered G scale?
I believe so.
That is a hotly debated topic of what actually is G scale.
Yeah,
it sure is.
Is it G gauge? Yes.
Yes.
Because what we have everything from 122.5 or something to 132 is technically G gauge.
Yeah, a lot of people consider G gauge 132nd all the way to 120.3.
Well, 120.3 is actually F gauge.
Yeah, is NMRA F gauge. That's correct. So the 120.3 models that AccuCraft makes and Bachmann Spectrum line makes are FN3.
Yeah, see, I believe Nico is correct there, and why I said it that way. G.
Yeah.
So I think someone will argue with you that one scale is technically G, but I've really never seen it officially. Like, did you say you're with the NMRA? What do they say on that?
I was trying to remember. I know that 120.3, the FN3, I was thinking that true G scale was 1/32. It would be the prototypical scale to be 4 foot 8.5 inches on the tracks.
Well, see, Nico's a little bit wrong. He's not totally right, but he's not totally wrong. So it's like G is a scale if you're playing a piano or a guitar.
He's not totally right or totally wrong, but he is completely robbed, is what you're saying, right?
Yeah, completely robbed.
Yeah, I think the topic of is there a G scale, and if so, what is it? Is like I'm trying to think if I've seen like official sources like specify on it, but I've never seen everybody completely agree on what G scale is. And now I do agree with what Nico's saying there, that gauge 1 is what they consider 132, but it seems like it's kind of an outdated term a little bit at this point, I guess, maybe. But at any rate,
so 120
it all runs on the same track.
Exactly. 120.3 puts it at a 36-inch gauge between the rails in real life. But 10-foot rule that we talk about often. So,
and actually, since we're on that anyhow,
John says that Nico is a drummer, so he doesn't know anything about scales.
I was going to say, if that's the case, Nico can do his own cymbal tap thing for that joke.
Yeah.
As I say, well, I'm still sharing my screen here. I guess I'll bring up the list of events we have here before I forget about it later. Because coming up the 19th of this month, as I said before, is help if I was scrolling on the proper screen. There we go. The Cincinnati Garden Railway Society has their all G scale swap meet on the 19th. And the bonus of that is they hold it at Entertainment Junction, which, to the best of my knowledge, is the largest indoor G scale display in the U.S. I could be wrong on that. Don't quote me, but it is well worth a visit. So Entertainment's a very nice place to visit. And from what I've heard from a few people that will be setting up at this swap meet, it sounds like there's going to be some pretty decent deals on track and stuff, maybe. And as always, if you go to our website, largescaletrains.com, we have the events section where this is listed at if you want to go back and look at it later. Or if you know of an event coming up that's G-scale related that I don't have listed, shoot me an email and let me know. Which reminds me, there's something I forgot to add to this. I'll have to go back and look at my email. Of course, the East Coast show, as we talked about earlier, is coming up April 1st and 2nd. RLD Hobby Spring Open House is always a good time to go to if you want to go and run trains and hang out with everybody. Remember, battery power. Robbie does not have track power. You need to do a nice big outdoor layout there, Vernon.
Yeah, that'd be great. Maybe eventually.
Just pin that and put it on the board. That's all.
Yes.
Big Train Operators is going to have their convention coming up June 19th to the 24th.
Is this a members only convention?
I believe it is. However, their cost to join is not that bad, and I believe they give you they send you a really nice quarterly G Scale magazine, if I'm not mistaken. I would know if I would sign up. I keep saying I'm going to sign up and become a member of the Big Train Operators, and then I forget.
I like the fact that they have custom runs made for their members.
Yeah, and I saw some pictures. I believe Taya, that's in the chat, I saw her post some pictures in one of the Facebook groups the other day that she got her convention cars. Now, the National Guard and Railway Convention, that's June 19th to the 25th. You're going to be at that, correct, Vernon?
Yes, we've got 4 booths at the National Convention, and talking to the Denver group there, they've stated that they have currently the exact same amount of tables sold or something as Nashville. So it seems to be coming together pretty well.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then the only other show I have on here at the second is going to be June 25th and 26th. This is actually near me here in Ohio. It's the Riverside Railroad Club is going to have their swap meet coming up. This is the second year they're doing it. Last year was actually a really nice show. There was a lot of good stuff there, good prices. I recommend checking it out. And the other nice thing is they have their indoor operating G-scale layout that will be on display and running during the show. And if you actually want to see that, if you check out my MrPictovid channel, I just put up a video from their layout on Monday. I went and played on it for a little while. Sean gave me some pointers on what I did wrong taking video. But trying to think what it was I was forgetting, Sean. Is there something out in California? Was it like the National Narrow Gauge Convention or something?
Well, you usually have like the Sacramento Bay Area. It's doing some kind of convention out there on their own. I'm not sure.
I'll make a note here so I try and look. But if anyone knows what it is and I'm forgetting about it, shoot me a message and let me know. And there's Taya answering my question. It's $50 a year for membership to the BTO. And like I said, it's probably worth that just for the nice, it's a quarterly magazine they send out. From what I understand, it's a pretty good publication that they send out.
Yeah, I like the publication they sent out. I joined, I guess, last year.
Okay.
And do like it.
Very nice.
And you can take away that bottom.
Yeah. I just saw that. I thought I clicked off of that a bit ago. All right. Let's see. Is there anything I'm forgetting to mention here, Sean?
Not that I can think of.
All right.
Than, yeah.
So, what kind of future, any type of future like new products you're going to have come? I mean, obviously like the Dash 9s and stuff like that. You'll be carrying the GP60s as well, right?
That's correct. Yes.
From AML.
Yep. Yes, that's correct as well. Yeah. So the Evans box, we're excited. I'm a big Evans boxcar collector, so I'm excited about the Evans boxcar. I think Joseph, if I remember correctly, in the comments earlier, said he was going to fight me for a flag, but he can call us up and he can get one and I can get one. We can both be happy. So
Wigwag Workshop wants to know what scale is the USA Trains Union Pacific starter set.
I believe it's 129th.
It's kind of strange because, the locomotive they sell is 129th as well as the caboose, but like they always seem to include the American Series either boxcar or American Series reefer, which really isn't 120.
Those are what, 124, aren't they?
That's what they advertise, Matt. Yeah. So they sort of like give you a mix.
Joseph says it's no fun if he can't fight you for it, Vernon.
All right. Well, I'm not sure what Joseph looks like. So is it okay that I just say I'll get back to him on it? If he's larger than I am, I don't know that I want to.
Maybe we could live stream that.
Sell some pay-per-view, tickets to it or something.
We'd have to find a catchy tagline for that. The
I am
Reindeer
looking
Rumble.
forward to it. That's one of the, I've got a handful of Dash 9s. So my personal collection is about 150 locomotives and almost 800 cars, pieces of rolling stock. And a flag has been one that I've wanted in my collection and haven't been willing to pay $1,200 for it.
Here's an interesting topic there. Wigwag mentioned about maybe avoiding a starter set and just buying stuff separately. What's your thoughts on that, Vernon?
It depends on what your needs are at that time, depending on the starter set as well. If you can get an S4 and a starter set and you're happy with that, then that's maybe a direction to go. I'm all about larger the radius, the better for you. My big proponent is if someone's starting a new garden railroad, don't go anything smaller than a 5-foot radius, 10-foot diameter. So then you can run, 90+% of everything out there. So if not 98% of everything out there. So that's, it just kind of depends on your needs. If you're wanting to do a small thing in the garden, then maybe that's a good direction you go with. If you're not wanting to get another locomotive or, just a couple more cars. But if you're looking at, wanting to kind of take that chunk and build a little larger garden railroad, then yeah, definitely piece the products out that you want, the locomotive you want, the track that you'd like, and expand from there. Because in the long run, if you're going to expand, then, the thought process is go ahead and get that 10-foot diameter at least and go that direction.
I mean, we'll say the starter sets that come with, well, they stopped making the NW2 now, didn't they? They switched back to the S4.
That's correct. Yes, I did misspeak there. Yeah.
I mean, either one of those locomotives are actually a decent locomotive to get in the starter set. I mean,
yeah. And if you like, Pico set, they've got a couple nice small mini moguls that are nice pulling locomotives, great sound to them. They, also have the 060 starter sets that they have. So it kind of just depends on what direction and where you wanted to start for that. I still have, I'm pretty confident I still have a couple 040 LGB starter set stands locomotives that we started back with in '89.
Oh, wow.
So, they still run and every now and then go around the Christmas tree.
I see Taya answered me on what I was forgetting there. It's a National Narrow Gauge Convention in Tacoma, September 1st to the 4th.
And Kyle really seems like Stumpy.
Oh yeah, he was asking for where'd that go? He was asking for a close up of the stubby Dash 9 you have there.
Oh, so she's on a single motor truck. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Is there
As I knock my handrail off.
I was going to say, is that like a partial fuel tank or something behind the back of it there? Or?
Yes.
I don't think you can get very far on that fuel tank.
No. So what was nice about her is, and she actually had the new QSI decoder in it that had the additional sound light. So it's got the flashing beacon up here on the top as well with it, and just all before the rotating ditch lights and everything. Sorry, the camera's here.
Very nice.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's kind of a cool joke, that we had at a train show, and then a year later saw it sitting there. And, so we had, by that time we had already, going to, so most of my equipment, I say most of my equipment, I have probably a third in battery, a third in DCC, and then another third just in DC that I haven't converted over yet. And then in battery, I've got RCS, I've got LocoLink, I've got AirWire.
Wow, you got LocoLink. I
have old Goose that had LocoLink in it.
You're the second person I know then that officially has LocoLink. I know they still make it, but like most of the people that I interact with had Revo or AirWire, or they're going to RailPro now. But I've got one friend that has LocoLink and all of his stuff, and it's the only time I've ever seen it in person.
I actually had 3 locomotives. I had 2 outside frame consolidations that had LocoLink in them, and then Goose that had LocoLink in it The outside frame consolidations kind of got chopped up and on the scrap yard after they kind of went kaplunk with the gears at the time, stripping out of them. But and I don't know what happened to those decoders, but the Goose still runs really well with the Loco Link. But that's the only Loco Link I have. And primarily I've got a couple RCS, a couple Shays that are RCS, a Heisler that's RCS, and then everything else is either Rail Pro or Airwire for battery.
And as Nico mentioned, Phoenix Sound also had something similar to Stumpy there.
Oh, really? Did not know that. That's cool.
Yeah, I caught that on a video a couple different years of them running their little Stumpy.
Oh, very cool. Very
cool. I mean, if Bachmann's watching, I'm sure you know they want to offer some Stumpy -9s. They'd probably be a hot seller.
Yeah, you think that the egg liners are a huge seller. So yeah, what's the next step? Is Stumpy here? Dash 4.5. So
Dash 4.5.
Thinking about all the radio control options in that though, Vernon, you actually run all DCC on most of your layout, don't you?
Yeah. So for the indoor layout here, as well as the outdoor layout that you saw before,
okay.
We run DCC because we do train shows. So we're at a train show for 8 hours a day, Saturday and Sunday, and we're normally running on Friday as well. So we decided to go DCC as a family, especially when QSI came out. And, at that time, the plug and play boards that were in the aristo-craft locomotives, which we mainly had, my brother has like 12 -9s, and I have 6 or 7 45s and 3 or 4 -9s. And it was easy just to take that QSI decoder, flop it in, and I could either run Airwire with it or DCC or DC.
So the QSI decoder will pick up DCC through the rail, and it would also pick up the radio. So was there like a switch on it, or?
Yeah, so there was a switch between it because there's actually there was at the time another adapter that you plugged into the board, so you could run it off your Airwire system. So that's what I love about Rail Pro. They've kind of gone that direction as well now that I can run DC, DCC, and battery. So it's made it nice and versatile.
And John was asking, didn't Aristo make a short nose from the RS3 also? And the answer to that would be yes. Aristo made what they called the Critter using an RS3 cab.
And I actually got 2 of these here somewhere. Or I have 2. No, actually, I got 3. I got a Critter problem.
Are you sure? I want you to count.
Well, I got that one there, and then I got this one here, although they do look the same. And then I believe I have a parts one that's in a bin somewhere.
Here we go with the somewhere again.
Which, by the way, the 908 KDs actually work out just to the right height on those. If you open up the post on the box, I'll drop right over top of that onto them.
How many cars will those little things pull?
I don't know. Well, I guess it depends on how much drag is on the cars. If you're pulling a whole slew of cabooses with, the brush pickups on them, probably not many.
Oh, you haven't run them yet?
Well, I've really never run them with more than a few cars. I mean, they're not.
Yeah.
Although I do recall our friend Jim Vichek a few years back seeing a video he posted, and I think he had like 4 or 5 of them all hooked together pulling a whole train. See, I helped at least one person out tonight. Victor's going to be calling you for some 908s. Does he get a family discount? No, I'm just kidding.
He gets. We actually charge him double.
That's
how it works.
That sounds about right. Nico says 1 car downhill.
NSNJ Railfan says he's pulled 2 AML high cubes with no issue.
Yeah, there's Nico getting robbed by his son again, calling him a liar. I was kidding.
Oh, Nico says downhill. He's arguing with him.
I like Slide Cat's description there, the motorized rat.
Yeah, there you go. And they made one. The next size up for that was a center cab diesel. Remember that? They only made one.
Yeah, and it was essentially bad visual representation here, but it was essentially like you had this nose on each end,
right?
And it had two motor blocks under it, and they were the same motor blocks that were under the PCC trolley, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, they were.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I think they only ever did one run of those.
Yeah, I thought they only did one run.
Yeah, I mean, they weren't bad looking little engines, but I mean they produced the crap out of these ones though.
And I'm surprised that the manufacturers don't do more smaller diesels, because I know in the past people asked for like the 20-ton. You remember the 20-ton USA trains, little switchers, right?
Yeah. 1 second, I'll be right back, Sean.
Okay. Wasn't the egg line supposed to be? I'm not sure. But getting back to to the train shows, or the East Coast Large Scale train show, I thought, judging by last year, I thought the space was kind of small. And then when I talked to Dan, when I went to the train show in Timonium, he was there. And I asked him, I says, are we going to have room for all these people? He says, yeah. I mean, he says, we got plenty of room. We just had the spaces blocked off. So, because I thought there wasn't a lot of room there either. So, he's going to supposedly open everything up this year inside. So I guess we'll get the real gist of how big the inside really is. What's the matter, Andrew? I see your face.
Oh, I was looking at the chat after I sat back down here.
Oh, the Mighty Mo. That was it. Yeah. So USA Trains had the Mighty Mo, and they only made one run of that.
Yeah, and that was basically the same concept as this, but with an NW2.
Yeah.
But I always kind of felt like these looked more balanced. The Mighty Mo kind of seemed like it had like a lot of overhang on each end of the truck.
And they also only did one run of the next one up as well, the 44-tonner.
Yeah, I got a New Haven one on the shelf there.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I thought, weren't they going to do another run of those here recently? Weren't they talking about that?
I don't think so. They got their own trucks on them and stuff, so I don't know if they'll come back out with those ever again or not.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, those are. Yeah, because those are different from the NW2 trucks, aren't they?
Yeah, they're not the same trucks.
Yeah, USA 44-tonner. I'm not sure why Slag Cat's talking about a Chevy 454, but I'm down with it. Oh, that's what. All right, I see what John was saying when I got up. I didn't put my hand up to use the restroom. Okay, now I follow. All right.
So we're hoping to answer Dunbar's question. What if those storefronts end up getting rented in the future?
Oh, okay. I was trying to figure out what he was talking about.
Yeah. So basically we're trying to do, I guess what they call them in football, pull back and do a punt. But we're trying. I guess he's trying to rebuild everything after the showstopper happened and the loss of not having a show for a year. So I guess he's trying to revitalize everything over again, or start with a fresh start at a smaller spot and then trying to grow it back to the way it was. And
yeah, I mean, you got to kind of test the waters. I mean, I can't say that I'd want to go out and rent some large facility and then be left hanging,
Yeah, and it's just not the East Coast Large Scale Train Show. But what's happening, for those who don't know, is there's a lot of big vendors pulling out of train shows because it's getting too expensive. Like anybody who went to the Big E noticed that USA Trains was not there. USA Trains or Charles Rowe, just announced they were not going to the TCA in spring. So a lot of places are pulling out because it's getting way too expensive. So they have to sell more and more product just to break even, let alone turn a profit. So that's why the smaller shows are doing well.
Yeah. And I still think the smaller shows are really decent. I mean, once again, you got to keep in mind too when you're talking about G scale. I mean, if you go to a standard train show, I mean, you're going to find maybe a handful of G scale there. But even a smaller all G scale show, it's going to be an entire room full of nothing but G scale for the most part. So I mean,
yeah,
it's almost kind of like walking into Reindeer Pass.
And the East Coast Large Scale Train Show is the only all G scale train show left. So we got to do whatever we can to support it, whether we like where it's at or not. I mean,
no, we got more than that. I just mentioned a couple of like.
Well, I mean, as far as in the past, that's the way it was. Yeah, so Taya's correct.
Oh yeah.
Between Timonium and York, they're very expensive.
Yeah, and you got to remember too. I mean, he did go to Timonium that one year, and that's when the show had to get canceled at the last minute, and I'm sure that wasn't a very easy thing at all to deal with. So I commend them for trying to do something and keep it going. And like I told everybody before, I mean, if it's well attended and it shows promise, then I'm sure it'll get larger again.
Yep. And also, what's going on with your camera there, Andrew?
Yeah, that's a good question.
So, Ted asked a question. Ted, those are part of a collection that we have in the store right now. The road names kind of vary. We've been slowly adding them more and more to our used section on our website. So I, hate to plug the website or whatnot or how that works, but definitely go to the website.
Why not plug your website?
Yeah,
that sounds like
go to the website, check out the used section, and we've got the road names listed there with multiple pictures per car. And if they have KDs on them, we show the KD height on them and everything, so you kind of know what you're getting. We try to put enough photos out there and try to do a good description. So please definitely check them out. There is no CSX. Nico, you may have to fight Victor for those. Those were in the collection. He's already put his name on them.
No.
But they might be on the website. Who knows? So.
Nico gets robbed again.
That sounds like a terrible title for like some low budget movie. Nico gets robbed again.
Nico wants his CSX hoppers, but Victor robbed them from him. Oh my god. Use Eglon DPU. So
and Ted, yes. A majority I would say, of what the collection that we got in regarding the metal wheels all have, I would say probably 70% of them all have metal wheels.
Oh yeah, I forgot. They didn't always come with metal wheels.
Yeah.
They didn't?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, the earlier runs I don't believe did.
No,
in the yellow boxes. Right. The first runs.
Changing out the plastic to metal isn't that big of a deal unless you have the Aristo roller bearing trucks and you got to have the right wheel sets for them.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
and that's what the 100-ton and the 53s have on them, from my understanding. Right?
Yeah,
they require the Now, don't quote this number. Someone's going to call me out on a 29111B something.
Yeah, I think there's a B, and I forget what I think one's for like
D,
like blackened wheels, and one that's not maybe or something. Well, Bachmann produced the Aristo roller bearing trucks.
They are. Yeah. That's something we're going to carry as well. Right now, they are producing those trucks separately, but with the end of train device on them. So currently right now, Evans boxcars every one of them sold will come with an end of train device on it. Thank you, Brian.
Yeah, because I was watching them on another live stream because I asked a question on it if the end of train device was removable if you're going to run multiples, and it's actually not. I believe it's molded into the coupler on that, but they said they will be selling the standard trucks as well.
Yeah. Well, and so right when I asked the question on the standard trucks, they said we're just going to sell the trucks with the end of train device on it. But that was a conversation back in November. So hopefully, because I was like, well, if that doesn't, I could see me putting that on another train car or something. I think that's great, but we also need the trucks. I mean, I don't want an in-train device on every one of my Evans box cars, and I know there's 3 or 4 new ones that I want to get.
Well, you'll have to buy the other trucks and swap them, and then let me know when you're selling one with the end of train device on it. I'll buy one from you.
There you go.
It's all about helping each other out.
There it is. Exactly.
Will they sell replacement bearing caps?
Oh, yeah. Actually, that's a good question. I think I'm missing a couple off a few of mine.
Let's hope that. That's one of the things, too, in the pictures that we take. We take pictures of the trucks themselves, so you make sure, and we note on there if there's I think 1 or 2 cars that might be missing a bearing cap, but then we take pictures of it and note that it's missing 1 or 2 or whatnot. So that's something in our use section that we try to call out for everybody. And let's hope they do, because we all need them as well. Everybody needs them.
Yeah.
There was somebody making some molds, or made a mold of them, and did do some casting. I saw on one of the Facebook pages.
There's a couple people that have done that. I saw a few people 3D print them. Yeah. There's the answer to my question. Nico just 3D printed them.
There you go.
All right. Well, I know we're rolling around the 10:30 here.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that we needed to cover yet? Anything that we didn't touch on that you wanted to talk about, Vernon, or anything?
No, I think it was great tonight. I appreciate it.
No problem. Yeah. We were excited to have you on board and talk about your new venture, and wish you all the luck in the world.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it very much. This has been a lot of fun. It definitely being on the other side of the table sometimes is different. But it's sometimes, it's one of those things where, this is a hobby for me as well. And so I enjoy it every day.
And I think that's what makes it different, to have hobby shops and manufacturers who are actually hobbyists as well.
Yeah. No, I mean, I especially since you specialize in G scale, but just hobby shops that kind of carried everything around me. A lot of them they've been gone for years now. So, I mean, I think you might be a little bit crazy for but
probably so.
But I guess you kind of have to be sometimes. Yeah. But I highly appreciate the fact that you decided to take that leap of faith into it. And
thank you.
I think you'll find that. Well, I mean, you've been in the G scale community, but I think you'll find that everybody's pretty supportive.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm learning every day as well. I don't know it all, definitely, and I'm willing to try to study on it to understand it. And but I love talking about it, and I love sharing it, and it's good. So I appreciate all your guys' support and reaching out with questions, and it's great to put a face with the name kind of thing, since we did a couple publications marketing things where we did, pictures of Mike and Renee with us, and tried to let everybody know that everything on the back end still stayed the same, but that we were the new owners. And so I appreciate you guys allowing me to come on and share and have a little fun.
Oh yeah, we were happy to have you. That's for sure.
And when we do go, if you can hang out for just a moment, Vernon.
Yeah.
I will tell everybody 2 weeks from now, the 19th, our next show, we're going to have Charlie Zimmerman on. I know you guys have seen him on before, and he's actually going to be doing a whole thing on doing your own decals, applying decals and some different techniques with them. And if we're lucky, we might even get him to show us how to do some graffiti stuff as well.
Nice.
But I'll have a whole thing written up and dropped on our website for that here in the next week. But if anybody watched his appearance when he did the weathering, everybody highly enjoyed it. So I'm sure you'll enjoy the decal portion as well. So with that said, yes, you're welcome, Nico, for robbing you again. With that said, have a good night, everybody. And we'll see you again in 2 weeks.
We'll see everybody later.
All right. Good night, everyone.